Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai's Football News. Let's start with the biggest transfer of the window so far. According to The Athletic, Arsenal have just splashed out £75 million to bring in Bruno Guimaraes, and this signing tells us everything about where the Premier League champions are headed. But who exactly is this guy? The Athletic has been diving deep into his background, and it's fascinating. Guimaraes isn't just some random midfielder. He's described as a captivating leader, someone with incredible presence on the pitch. What makes his journey even more remarkable? Well, those who know him best have revealed that here's a guy who had to learn everything from scratch. Some couldn't even tie their own shoelaces at first, but through sheer determination and guidance from mentors in Brazil, he's transformed into one of Europe's most coveted midfielders. Now he's arrived at the Emirates to bolster Arsenal's midfield and help them defend their title. This is the kind of signing that shows Arsenal mean business in the Champions League. Now, let's talk about the transfer saga everyone's watching. Rodri to Barcelona. According to ESPN, the Spanish Giants are absolutely stepping up their efforts to sign Manchester City's Spanish midfielder. This is huge because Rodri is arguably the Premier League's best midfielder right now. But here's where it gets interesting. ESPN is also reporting that Manchester City manager Enzo Maresca has suggested that Rodri is expected to return to City training next week, indicating he's definitely coming back. So what's really going on? Barcelona clearly want him, they're making their intentions known, but Manchester City aren't exactly rolling over. They paid big money for Rodri, and he's central to their plans. This could drag on for weeks, or Barcelona might have to walk away if City don't budge on their valuation. Either way, it's one of those transfers that could reshape the landscape of world football if it actually happens. Let's shift gears and talk about some of the quieter transfers making waves. According to BBC Sport, Rangers have agreed to sell midfielder Mohamed Diomande to Turkish club Corum for around £4.5 million. It's not a huge headline-grabbing deal, but it shows how Rangers are reshaping their squad this summer. At the same time, BBC Sport is reporting that Rangers are also being linked with a move for Aston Villa right-back Kosta Nedeljkovic. Meanwhile, over at Chelsea, according to reporting from The Athletic, manager Enzo Alonso is working on reintegrating Mudryk after his loan spell away. Chelsea's summer tour of Australia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Malaysia is giving us glimpses of how Alonso wants to set up his squad. With new signings coming in and players returning from various moves, it's shaping up to be a completely different-looking Chelsea when the season starts. Here's a story that really captures what's happening at one of football's most ambitious clubs right now. According to The Athletic, Nottingham Forest manager Oliver Glasner recently sat down for a key dinner with club owner Evangelos Marinakis, and that conversation was absolutely crucial in convincing him to take the job. Glasner has been explaining that his ambitions were perfectly matched by Marinakis' vision for the club. Think about this. Glasner is a manager who's won in Europe, who's managed at the highest level, and he chose Forest because he believes in what Marinakis is building. The Athletic also mentions that Glasner has been enjoying some downtime. He even managed to play tennis at Wimbledon, but his focus is clearly on the amazing journey ahead at the City ground. This is the kind of appointment that shows Forest aren't just throwing money around. They're bringing in top-tier talent because they have a genuine plan. Expect big things from this combination. Now let's talk about Liverpool and their new manager Andoni Iraola. According to BBC Sport, Iraola is starting to put his stamp on the club during pre-season, but 4 friendly matches is still a very small sample size. However, The Athletic is reporting some concerning analysis about Liverpool's squad depth. Specifically, there are glaring gaps that need urgent attention. Most critically, The Athletic is pointing out that Liverpool absolutely need to sign a replacement for Mohamed Salah soon. That's a massive task. Finding someone of his quality isn't easy. But there's also understandable concern from fans about the depth in central midfield. Liverpool have some quality there, but injuries could expose real vulnerabilities. So Iraola's got work to do, not just settling in as manager, but pushing the club's recruitment team to address these issues before the window closes. It's a delicate balance, implementing a new philosophy while also making sure the squad is competitive enough to challenge for major honors. Speaking of preseason tours and new eras, let's look at Manchester City's tour, and this one's fascinating. According to The Athletic, City's first trip of the post-Guardiola era brought something completely different to the club, a new approach off the field. The players are enjoying a much more relaxed environment compared to previous years. The Athletic's reporting even mentions some brilliant details, like players making chopsticks during downtime. These are the kinds of team-building activities that show a cultural shift. Of course, there's also the challenge of unbearable heat during preseason in Asia, which the team had to manage. But the bigger picture here is that Manchester City are clearly trying to reset their culture under new management. After years of Guardiola's relentless intensity, there's a deliberate effort to create balance. Whether this translates to success on the pitch, well, that's the million-pound question. City still have all the talent in the world, but culture matters. We'll find out soon enough if this new approach pays off. Finally, here's a story that absolutely blew minds when it came out. According to ESPN, a new Netflix documentary has revealed that Jose Mourinho was actually all set to replace Sir Alex Ferguson as Manchester United manager back in 2013. Let that sink in for a moment. Mourinho had a deal in place. He was going to be the next Manchester United boss. But then, and this is the crazy part, he changed his mind at the last minute and decided to rejoin Chelsea instead. Imagine how different football history would be if Mourinho had taken that United job. Would they have won multiple titles under him? Would he still be there now? We'll never know. But what we do know is that this Netflix documentary is pulling back the curtain on Mourinho like never before, showing us a side of the man that we haven't really seen in public interviews. It's these kinds of revelations that remind us how close we sometimes come to massively different timelines in football. And if you want to see more of Mourinho's personality, The Athletic is also reporting on his latest comments and insights from the same documentary. Absolutely essential viewing for any football fan.